I haven't worked with Jazz in about a week, maybe week and a half. So today is going to be working with her. I'm going to do the whoa again, stopping, lunging on the side that she doesn't really like, and we'll see how things go. I was going to put the saddle on her today, but I figured getting her a little bit more acquainted with whoa to make sure there's a good whoa in there might be better than doing that. See, the braids came out. She got one braid left. So I'll take that out and I'll brush down her mane and tail to allow it to air out a little bit, because I don't like to keep them up for more than a week or so. I have stuff for the mane and tail, but right now I'm just using Shoshin. There's the brush. I still need to give her a bridle path, haven't done that yet. Sounds like someone's bouncing around inside their stall when it gets eaten. Now, one thing with Jazz is she has a super thick tail, which I really, really like. You're a good girl, don't worry. That's a good girl. Yeah, she's just a good girl. Alright, I'm going to put the bridle on for this. That way she can get used to the bit being in her mouth. Because one thing I really want to make sure is that she is comfortable with the bit. Doesn't mean I pull on anything, doesn't mean I yank on anything, it's just her getting used to it. What? What? Gotta go on your other side for this. Good girl. You gotta bring your head back. Yeah. Okay. Thank yous. Thank yous. Hang on, hang on. Hang on, hang on. There you go. There you go. There you go. Sebastian, that's not the best place for you, dude. We got our big black barn cat out here. He rubs up on all the horses. Thinks all the horses are his best buddies, even if they try to step on him. Ah. I had a procedure done on my shoulder this last week, so it's not very fun right now with my shoulder. But life goes on, right? Hang on, big girl. Alright. Using the stud chain again, but we're going to do it differently. Because I don't want it sliding in front, in front of her nose or anywhere stupid like that. I'm going through the bit just to keep it there. And then, gotta make sure it's even. No, bring your head back over here. She knows we're gonna work, so she's getting a little excited. I want to put it, stop it, you silly, on her actual tie piece right here. Hey, knock it off. So when I yank down, it's only going to yank on her halter. That way, this doesn't have any, see how much looser this is? Even when I pull down on it, it's not going to do anything to her. Now I get to try to be coordinated again. But instead of using that big old stick, I'm going to use my lunge whip again. It's smaller. But again, I'm bringing the long line out. This should be fun. Alright, jump pause. I got to set you up over by the arena. Here's the round pen. For some reason, someone set a water up in the round pen. I'm unsure why. I don't know if anyone was left in here. So that'll make things a little bit more challenging for me to be able to lunge her, but we'll figure it out. Right now, she's getting her heebie-jeebies out. It's work time. Here I started on her bad side. I wanted to make sure she actually started lunging correctly on her bad side, because I know she can be a bit of a turd about it. She actually did very well. I've been actually working with just walking on the wrong side of her, making sure I'm doing things on the wrong side of her, just so she gets used to things do move around over there. You are asked to flex and turn on that side. Now, I did ask her to canter. I kiss for cantering, I cluck for trotting. And then horses started banging around and jumping around in their stalls, so they started making noises and distracting her. On this direction, she is easily distracted still, but she does listen. Like here, she's being a bit lazy. She wants to just listen to what's going on over there, and I'm trying to push her forward. Here you can literally hear me say ho 3 times. Now, I didn't jerk on the lead until the 3rd time, or like maybe right between the 2nd and 3rd time. She did stop. She did listen when she figured out, oh wait, you're asking me to stop. Now, my biggest deal is when I say ho, that means you don't move your feet, not even an inch. And you'll notice a few times she does do that. And I have to reprimand by just jerking on the lead, making sure she understands, no, you actually have to stop. Here she hoed very nicely, which I was very happy with. She didn't even walk in. She just kind of turned her body a little bit towards me, which was perfect. All right, one more time. I know, stop playing nice. Here I asked her to hoe, and all I did was kind of wiggle or shake the line. I didn't even jerk on it, and she stopped beautifully. Now I'm going to ask her to change directions, and you see I hold my hand up and I point. She understands it to an extent. She's getting it. She actually figures things out rather quickly. She didn't realize I wanted her to turn, but now that she's got it, she's like, okay, let's keep going. She really does like to work, which is one thing I really like about her. But she's anticipating me asking her to hoe, so she's stopping and trying to look at me like, wait, this is what you wanted, right? Now there I did ask her to hoe, and you can see she stopped at the end of the line. She went, oh, okay, I'll stop here. She didn't move until I asked her to. And then I asked her to move. Keep going. I don't care if she canters. I don't care if she trots, as long as she keeps going. Now, I try not to stop them in the same place every time. Like there, I asked her to hoe, and it took her 3 times, but when she did figure it out and I did jerk on the lead, she did stop. You can see she's always looking off in another direction, which is kind of hard. She's a very looky-loo kind of horse. She wants to always investigate and see what other people are doing. Now here, I did ask her to hoe quite a ways back, and she did not listen, so she got a good jerk on the lead. She stopped there, and I always just stand. I don't move, I don't say anything, and if I want to talk like to someone outside the round pen or something, I will. You see, I held my arm up again, and I asked her to go again, because that was a very bad stop. I generally do things in 3s, but I want to make sure she actually does a good stop. Now here, it took about 20 feet, but I did have to jerk on the lead, but she eventually stopped. You're going to notice she kind of shakes her head a little bit, swings it out like that. She's getting ready to start her stubborn streak. She gets this about 20 minutes in sometimes, where she doesn't want to do it, and she doesn't want to listen. But if I work her past that, she does really good. There, I asked her to hoe. She did really good. I barely even yanked on the lead, which was really good for her. Now, because she did such a good job, I do switch directions. As you can tell, this direction, I cannot hold the lead up as high as I can on the other side, because my shoulder does not go that high. But she still does a good job. She knows exactly what I'm asking, even if she is getting a little stubborn about it. There, she did a good job. She did a good whoa, ho, whatever you want to call it. I say both. They both have the same vowels, so it doesn't matter to me. Trying to hold my arm up a little higher is a little bit more difficult. She gets the idea and she starts moving along again. There, she anticipated me to tell her to whoa, but I was not going to tell her. I have to make her move when she anticipates that stuff, and she's really bad on this side about anticipating it, but that's okay. Just got to move past that. You can see this go around. I ask her to hoe, and she gets very defiant and just keeps walking. So I have to shake the lead, makes her move away, and she just keeps walking. So she knows that's bad. She knows she's not supposed to keep walking. So I make her go again. Her reward is rest. She gets to breathe and stand for a moment without having to move. If she doesn't do what I'm asking her, that means I make her move again. Here you can see, it took her a little bit. I just shook the lead. She did stop. She did take a few steps in, but we're still working on that, so I'm not going to be like totally picky on it. Since she did good, I turned her around, and we started going the other way.
We didn't have anyone out here when we were gone.
You can see she starts getting a little tight on this side, which isn't good for my arm because she does end up pulling me at one point. Here she hoes within 10-20 feet of me asking. She's getting better, it's just taking time. And she's got a lot of things to think of all at once, because now she has the bit in the mouth to keep her occupied. She's not chomping on it, she's not doing anything with it, she just lets it lay there. See, she anticipated that I'm going to ask her to whoa right there again when I did not. She was getting ready to, she tilted her head in, and I said, no, keep going. Now here, I asked her to whoa. She was just getting ready to start cantering, and I asked her to whoa. That was a good one, so I asked her to turn around. I always try to turn her around on the good ones. Sometimes they're not in threes, but she still gets the time to turn around. See, here she yanked on my arm, which was not good.
That actually hurt.
She thinks I'm asking her to go, and I did not ask her to go, so I yank and shake that lead and make sure she knows the word ho.
Oh.
She thinks that because I'm talking to my fiance, Will, that she can just start walking off again.
Okay. Nope.
And see, now she's being a bit more defiant.
That direction.
She knows which way I'm asking her to go.
You know which way I want you to go. Stop your shit.
Here's that stubborn streak I was telling you about. I knew it was coming up, and that's what happens.
Oh. Oh.
Now here I did have to shake the lead, but not as hard as I had before. She did much better on that one. Especially after her not wanting to stop and then also yanking me. Here I gave her a little tug. It wasn't even a yank, and she stopped right on the dime.
Good. Oh. Doesn't mean move. Oh.
Now she did start walking forward, but she saw me also shake my whip, so she figured I was supposed to be moving.
Thank you. Stay there.
Now because she did yank on my arm, I had to stop at this point because my arm had actually been starting to hurt. I can't do a lot. Now here I do give her a little signal to come in, and I want her to learn that signal, so she comes in only when I ask her. Now here I figured I'd go ahead and start working with her legs because she is really, really bad about picking up her legs. So I use the dressage whip, and I will tap the leg and say, foot. So she knows which one I'm asking. And you can see me tapping. And every time she even picks it up or even tries, I stop tapping. Now I only tap below the cannon bone, so you see me rub her up on the forearm, but that's only rubbing her. That's not hitting or tapping. Now here, again, she picks up her foot. She does good. And now this is her bad foot too, so this is the one she doesn't like to be picked up. This is the one she likes to rear up on people on. So that's why I'm trying to make it easy for the farrier, easier for myself. And every time, see, when she starts to move, she starts getting frustrated because now it's dinner time. Horses are starting to talk. My fiance is getting ready to go fill up the wheelbarrow for food. She doesn't want to be in here, but I have to make her. So every time she starts to rub on me and be pushy, I jerk on her. She knows better. She knows not to do that. But because she wants what she wants, she doesn't want to listen, I make her listen. So now I change sides. Yeah, I figured she'll move forward a few times because this is the first time I've done this with the lunge whip, or the dressage whip, sorry. Sometimes I have to tap her a bit longer because she doesn't get it, and that time she actually picked up the wrong foot, but she'll get it. She'll figure it out. See how she stomped her foot down and went to push on me? I have to jerk on her so that way I get her to stop because I don't want her being pushy for anyone. She starts to yank, and I get a little irritated with her, so I'm telling her knock it off. So we start tapping again. She picks up the foot. I leave her alone. Then I ask her again. Even if she's picking up the foot to move away, that's fine, as long as she's actually picking up her foot. She's got to realize what foot I'm asking, because I want her to see that I'm actually pointing or touching that leg. She needs to know that's the leg I want, not the other leg. See here, she starts getting a bit pushy with rubbing and yanking on my reins, or not my reins, sorry, my lead rope. And there she did beautiful. I did tap a few times. There was even 2 or 3 times where I just put the whip down towards her leg and I said foot and she picked it up. And that's what we want. This is going to take a little bit more time than normal, but as you see, whenever I groom her up before putting her away, I do ask for that bad leg for at least 3 times And as long as she doesn't jump or rear up, she gets to go back in her stall. See, again, I had to jerk on her again because of the way she's acting. She's jerking her head around. She's being a little rebellious. See, I asked for the foot, and she, even though it was to move it back, she still picked up her foot. Now, a lot of people would tell me, hey, why don't you have treats? You could give her a treat each time she picks up her foot. Because I don't want her thinking that she can take things from people. I don't want her thinking that we're always going to have treats and always hand them out to her all the time. I've given her treats. She's not a big treat eater, which for me is actually really good. She gets her grain after she does her work here. She'll actually get some Pro Force fuel. So she actually has her own grain for working and everything. She's starting to calm down a little bit. She's not moving around as much. So I actually, each time she picks up her foot and she doesn't yank on me or do anything stupid, I do praise her. And once she actually figures it out and she doesn't act like a turd, then we end up going back to the horse trailer. You'll see here she's starting to move more as I'm asking her to lift her leg. She's getting very stubborn about this. As you've probably heard, I've had to consistently correct her by jerking on her lead rope. No, I'm not pulling on the chain. It's just her lead rope with the rope halter. And for some reason, the speakers are really good on this thing, so you can actually hear me tapping her leg. I am not hitting her. It is not whacking her. I am tapping her leg. Sometimes I get her hoof, but I'm tapping her leg. You can see she keeps moving. She's pulling on the lead rope. She's putting her head up. All the signs of just being defiant. She wants to go eat. She doesn't want to listen. I'm trying to make her listen, and it's very difficult because now, no matter what I'm doing, she doesn't really care to learn. She wants to do her thing. You can see she pushes into me, so I ask her to yield her hindquarters and move them over. She does, and we start again. She wanted to look at everyone because she knew they were getting ready to get fed. That time she picked her leg up very nicely, and I loved it. So this was our little training session. She did reasonably well today. She's having a little bit of a hissy fit at the horse trailer because she knows it's dinner time and she wants her food. So she's being a little butt. But she'll get over herself. Why are you so far away? Come on. Get up here. Learn to chill out. Foot. Oh, rock. Foot. Want your foot? Thank you. Thank you. Foot. Can I have your foot? Good girl. One more time. Foot. Foot. Thank you. Good girl. So I'm going to keep her tail down. I'm not going to deal with putting that up tonight. can see her tail's actually pretty fluffy, but it needs to straighten out a little bit. Now we'll see how she does with taking off her bridle. Now I'm going to kind of stand in front of her because I really don't want to be beside her so much. You gonna wait? Stop it and wait. You gotta wait. Thank you. She's a natural at giving her bit back. She don't pull and be stupid about it, hopefully. I know. You're itchy is what it is, huh? There you go. So that's today's work.